Good morning and welcome to the Morning Scoop for Tuesday, August 17th. This is your daily Buckeye fix. I'm Tom Moore. The Minnesota game is in 16 days, the game against Michigan in 102 days. It's starting to look a lot like the Ohio State coaching staff knows who its starting quarterback is going to be this fall. On Monday, Ryan Day met with the media. He wasn't quite ready to announce a starter, but he did say that C.J. Stroud has separated himself from the rest of the candidates. Here's Day discussing that.
Yeah, I would say right now, we're not going to name a starter today, but I do think there has been a little bit of separation. I think that CJ's separated a little bit here over the last couple of weeks. We'll see what this week brings. Certainly not making any decisions right now, but we have seen a little separation, yes. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's just over time. We've had, 26 practices now when you include the spring, and I think it's 11 now here in the preseason. And it's just a body of work over time.
Day went into a little more detail later on what they saw from Stroud that made him the favorite to win the job.
Yeah, I thought the scrimmage went well. I thought guys played well across the board. I don't know how much separation, I'm not sure, but I'll say that every day he's been competing. He's been taking care of the football, making good decisions. He's been a leader. Those are all some of the traits that we're looking for. And certainly moving the team down the field to score touchdowns is something that we look for.
So if Stroud is on the verge of winning that starting job, the next question is, who's going to be the backup? There's a lot more drama around that decision than there ever really was around the starting job, which Stroud has long been viewed as a strong favorite to win. Day said that Jack Miller and Kyle McCord are still fighting and competing hard.
Yeah, they've been great. They understand no decisions have been made yet, but that's where it's at, and that's part of the process is communicating, and I think we do a really good job of that, understanding, okay, here's where you're at, here's what you're doing well, but these are the areas that we need to improve in, and that's for everybody across the board. And so it's a long season. That's what I think all those guys understand, and will continue to understand, is that we're talking about going all the way to January, and so everything that that my experience is we're going to need everybody, and one thing's for sure, there's going to be one starter. In terms of that first play. I always say that against Minnesota, and then at that point, we see where it goes.
Monday was also the first day of practice for mega hype true freshman Quinn Ewers. He's the highest ranked recruit in the history of Ohio State football. He opted to skip his senior season of high school and enroll a year early. He went through practice on Monday, but Day said it is way too early to make any kind of judgments about Ewers as a player, and it's mostly, at this point, just about him getting comfortable around the building.
We're going to show him the locker room and show him around the facility and get him going. He's obviously just got here and he's kind of in the middle of camp. So we have a good plan in place to try to get him kind of going here in camp. He's had a great attitude and happy he's here. Yeah, it's a very, very unique situation for sure. I think when you think about, everything we went through at JTT and now with Quinn, it's just kind of, becoming a little bit more normal, these unique situations. But we're very, very excited to have him here. He's got a tremendous amount of talent. His family are awesome people, and he's about the right things. And early on, I actually offered him when he was in 8th grade. And it was really pretty neat. Saw him at an early age, kept recruiting him, built that relationship, and obviously very, very excited that he's a Buckeye.
Is Ewers going to get a chance to play this fall, or is he just in Columbus to kind of watch and learn and figure it out next spring? There too, Day was not ready to make any kind of a decision.
I don't know. It's a long, long way to January, so I guess anything could happen. But we're just going to take it one day at a time and just see how everyone's working in that room. I think overall the quarterback room has made some good progress this year. I think when you look at all the guys, I think Jack and Kyle have both grown, and so we'll kind of see how things shake out. But we got another week of camp, and then once we kind of break on Saturday, then it's all kind of Minnesota. I think that's where we start looking at depth charts and where guys are, but we're a long way away from that when it comes to Quinn. But I think we just saw somebody who really had a natural throwing ability and has a great makeup and competitive spirit. And so when you combine all of those things and then playing at a great school with a great program and what he's done there, add all those things up, it's a great package.
But even today, did his arm jump out at you? I mean, did his throwing ability? What caught your eye about him today?
Like I said, he's just trying to figure out where to stretch out right now. So, we'll see. We're a long way from all that.
With Ewers now at Ohio State, the Buckeyes no longer have a quarterback in their 2022 recruiting class. Day was asked if they were planning to try and add another one to keep that pipeline of talent spaced out.
I think we have to look at it. I think I mentioned it before, kind of year to year, because of all the things that go on. When we recruit guys, the first thing we tell them is that we're going to recruit the best players in the country. That's my job as the head coach at Ohio State, is to bring in really good players. And these guys are here to compete, with everybody in that room. So we'll continue to recruit great players. We certainly don't want to lose anybody. That's not why we bring guys in here. We bring them in here to develop, and I feel like guys develop here as good as anybody in the country. So it's a room with a lot of growth right now. Where it goes moving forward, I don't know. We'll continue to recruit guys in each class, and then they can take it as it goes.
Those quarterbacks are going to be throwing to one of the top wide receiver units in the nation. Day said Monday that the plan is for them to identify a 6-receiver rotation to keep guys fresh throughout the game and throughout the season.
Yeah, that's the goal by the end of the week. Yeah, to get to there. I think we have an opportunity to do that. Right now, no, I don't think we're there quite yet, but a few more practices under our belt, and we'll be close. I'm excited about the potential for that group. I think that we've gotten tougher in that room. The blocking on the perimeter has improved. And so, the route running and the big plays, those will come naturally. But if the blocking improves and the toughness improves, catching the ball over the middle, blocking, all those type of things, and they become complete players as a unit, that's when they can be really special. And they've shown that this spring. I've been very, very impressed with that. So, yeah, I'm hoping by the end of the week here we got a full group.
And how have you seen the freshmen fight through their ups and downs and the freshman wall and all that?
Been very impressed. I think those two young guys have a tremendous makeup, their work ethic, but physically for their age, they're advanced, tough. Yeah, all the above. So I've been very, very impressed. Yeah, we like to rotate, as you know. So if guys are, again, game ready, then they're going to play. Now, how much can they handle? That's another question. I do think that Chris and Garrett have proven that they can handle a bunch of reps in games, more than probably anybody that I can remember since we've been here. Maybe Terry McLaurin was the only other one that could play, north of 40 to 50 snaps in a game. So we'll see. But if, Julian's had a really good camp, Marvin's played really well, Mecca's played well. So, those guys are going to get in the game, and that helps them. I think that when you look at late in the season and, as you start getting into November and December, having, guys that can get in there and take some reps away from those guys, it goes a long way so that they're fresh late in the season and they're fresh in the fourth quarter.
The offensive line is another spot where there's been a lot of interest this fall with the move of Nick Petit-Frere to left tackle, Thayer Munford to left guard, DeJuan Jones to right tackle. The Buckeyes are considering a lineup with 4 true tackles in it. Munford has missed some practices recently. We don't know how severe any kind of injury concerns might be, but it does sound like that lineup with Petit-Frere on the left, DeJuan Jones on the right is still a very serious consideration for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, there's been some movement back and forth on that, but I think that when DeJuan's played right tackle, he's done really well. He's had a good camp for himself. I think that Nick is also from moving right to left at times and then back to right at other times. He's handled that very well. It's different though. Playing right tackle and playing left tackle is different. Your punch with your left hand is different than your punch with your right hand. And Nick's very, very conscientious. He's really sharp. He learns very, very quickly. So. Again, that move for him is not something that's, he doesn't look like a fish out of water. He's doing great.
One player whose status is still up in the air is linebacker Palaie Gaoteote. The NCAA still has to rule on his appeal for immediate eligibility. Gaoteote transferred from USC this summer, but he initially put his name in the portal before the NCAA had created that one-time transfer exception. So he's technically not eligible for that. They said right now they're just kind of in a wait-and-see pattern, waiting to hear back from the NCAA.
Yeah, so EA is, he's done everything we've asked him to do. He's paying his own way. He's applied for a waiver with the NCAA. He's taken some classes this summer and done everything we've asked him to do. He was in a very, very tough spot through COVID, not to get into his family situation, but it was hard for him. And so we're very optimistic that the NCAA will grant his waiver to allow him to play this season. And so, again, really hoping that it works out for him because, again, he's done everything we've asked him to do. And I think when you get the details of everything he's been through over the last year, 2 years, but certainly in the last year with COVID, I think, you'd understand kind of why things are the way they are for him. So, again, very optimistic that he'll get the waiver.
Are you frustrated at all with the way that this process played out now in the middle of camp? And like you said, he's been doing everything up to this point.
Yeah, again, there's a lot of things coming out of COVID that we have to work through. It's certainly not ideal for him or us to not know if he's going to be eligible or not. He's been getting a decent amount of reps. That's a little unsettling when you think if he doesn't get his waiver, he'll be ineligible to play right now. So that's hard on him, but hopefully we get a quick response so we can get him some information and us some information so we can move forward.
One piece of good news on the other side of the ball, they did sound genuinely excited about the defense and the way they played over the weekend in that first scrimmage of the fall.
I mean, when you look at the film of our scrimmage, I thought it was excellent on defense. I thought we were contesting throws on the perimeter. Impressed with some of those young corners. I thought it was really well done up front. I thought there was a lot of energy and got a few 3 and outs in there. I thought we tackled okay. It's not all perfect. We got work to do. We got a lot of work to do. But it was competitive, there was energy, and it was a big step for our defense.
We will be back at Ohio State a little later on today to talk to the defensive line coach Larry Johnson, and hopefully a number of players. We've asked to talk to Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau, and a whole bunch of the other very promising players on that defensive line unit. We'll see who we get later on today, but you can, when we do those interviews, you can watch them all at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. We've been live streaming all of our interviews for you, also pulling some individual clips. If you don't have time to sit down and watch the whole thing, kind of pull out some of the interesting nuggets and share them right there at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. The best way to watch all of that stuff is at the end of this video, you're going to see something pop up that has another video recommended for you, but it also has a little logo on the right-hand side, a little Buckeye Scoop logo on the right-hand side. Click on that Buckeye Scoop logo. That will subscribe you to our YouTube channel. What will happen then is you'll get notified every time we post a new video. So that's every time we post a new podcast, every time we post a new player or coach interview. When we get to go watch practice on Wednesday, we're going to have video from inside practice. You'll get notified when we post that kind of stuff. So much more, all at youtube.com/Buckeye Scoop. All you have to do is subscribe and then get notified every time we post a new video so you never miss a thing. Also, do make sure you check out BuckeyeScoop.com. Our Ask the Insiders board has been loaded with great information from all the practices, the weekend scrimmage, so much more. It's all at BuckeyeScoop.com. You just have to be a member to get access to the Ask the Insiders board, get access to our great team of insiders, all of our great content, all of our great insight analysis from Ross Fulton and Nevada Buck and Mark Givler and Bill Green and Alex Kleitman and Mick Walker and Dominique Smith and Tony Gerdeman and me. And the team goes on and on and on. It's fantastic. Kirk Barton, tons and tons of great insight analysis, insider access you just can't get anywhere else. It's all at BuckeyeScoop.com. Sign up to become a member today. And also do make sure you check out all of our great podcasts. They're all on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, wherever you find podcasts. You can find our podcast. Just search Buckeye Scoop to find all of those. You can subscribe right there so you never miss an episode, and also leave us a 5-star rating and review, which will help other folks find those shows as well. We do genuinely appreciate that. Thank you guys all for joining us. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.